Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We've had a bit of a break over Christmas and New Year. It's going to be a wonderful call. We've got Mike moderating and taking your questions, so make sure you've got your chat box open. Please stay on mute until Q&A. Dr. Wallach is, in my opinion, the best doctor on the planet. Speaks at the United Nations, recently spoke at the Tesla event, has a book in the Smithsonian, published in many scientific journals. The author of Dead Doctors Don't Lie, the latest book, It's All in Your Head, which you can purchase. And Dr. Wallach is going to give us a 20-minute lecture on things that he has been researching recently. Then we will be going to your Q&A. My name is Jamel Boukabou. I am a 2-star executive with Youngevity, and I am not a healthcare professional. So please consult your own if you need to. And if you are interested in the products or the business, please contact your referrer or your upline. If you don't know who your upline is, please call the office, head office in New Zealand for Australia and New Zealand, and in San Diego for North America. So, Dr. Wallach, welcome back. Lovely to have you. And everybody's from all over the world today. So welcome back, mate.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Jamal and Mike and everybody out here on the team. Appreciate you and all the good stuff you do. And I do have, 2 weeks worth of stuff that I've been gathering since we've been on. So it'll be, some of it will be new for you. But basically, I want to start out by reminding people that these pandemics are not new. They go back thousands of years ago in the Bible. They were called plague. So at any rate, we go back to when our current types of pandemics started. Was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882. And I've said this over and over and over, so this won't be new to everybody, but some of the new people, it'll be new for. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City on the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, Thomas Edison and pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plant with Jonathan Liebs. And within 10, 12, 15 years, there were like 40 new diseases. And it was sort of the beginning of the age of genetics, and everybody's blaming it on all these new genetic diseases and blah, 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 blah. Really, they were just nutritional deficiency diseases, because when we went to electricity at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, we shut off the supply of nutrition to our food. We shut off wood ashes from the stove and the fireplace and the fire pits, which aren't really ashes. They're actually the minerals that were left when you burnt the wood for fuel. We've been using that as a mineral source. Now, most people didn't know that, but they were using it as a mineral nutritional source for thousands and thousands of years. And suddenly it went away. Get all these other diseases, which are nutritional deficiencies. And then, of course, we had the big Spanish flu in 1918. In the United States, it was horrible. Of course, the Native Americans, the indigenous peoples all got the biggest hits, but it came to, we had 657,000 dead in 1918. The worst month was October of 1918, where 195,000 Americans died from the Spanish flu. Then in 2003 and 2005, we had the H1N1, the COVID-2, we had the SARS and the MERS, and people were dying by the thousands, and it was a mess. Well, it turns out we wrote this up, Dr. Milan and I wrote this up in a book and a CD called Hell's Kitchen. We give you the history and everything, what's going on here. Well, here's what's going on. The reason why people get so sick and die from this as adults is very, very clear. Now, the thing to me, the clue was when a 3-year-old would get the pandemic, they'd have common cold-like symptoms for 3 to 5 days, then it would be over. They might have an elevation in temperature of 0.5 degree, 98.6 to 99. You couldn't even class it as a fever. But when a 63-year-old, a 73-year-old, and an 80-year-old would get the pandemic virus, it was deadly. So what's the difference between a 3-year-old and a 63-year-old and a 73-year-old? Well, the 63-year-old and the 73-year-old have been eating gluten, wheat, brown, rye, and oats for many, many years. Those villi in the intestines go away, because the gluten that's in the wheat, brown, rye, and oats contains a substance called pro-inflammatory cytokines, which kill those villi and they go away. So suddenly now, instead of having a shag rug with all that absorptive surface in your intestines, now you have a plastic tube with no absorptive surface. So even if you're supplementing, you're not going to get much of a result. And just kind of a quick update that was put forth by Johns Hopkins a couple of months ago. They said per 100,000 cases, the indigenous peoples in America, the Native Americans and the Indian tribes, 133 would die per 100,000. In the Black Americans, 123 would die per 100,000. And the Polynesians in the islands around America, be 90 per 100,000 would die. The Latinos, the Spanish and the Mexicans, 87 would die. The whites, 76 would die. And the Asians only had 54 would die out of 100,000. So they were saying there's something special about the Asians. Well, it's because they're eating rice and corn and sweet potatoes. There's no gluten in rice and corn and sweet potatoes. All the gluten's in wheat, butter, and oats. And especially the indigenous peoples in America, including the Eskimos and also in Canada and Mexico, were eating a wheat bread that was introduced to them hundreds of years earlier called bannock, okay? The grain was called bannock, or the flatbread. It's kind of like the matzahs that the Hebrew people eat. It's a flatbread. They could fry it. They could bake it. It was called bannock, okay? Well, I began to look seriously for a tribe of Indians that went back to eating maize and corn and see if they had a different rate of the disease. And I couldn't find, I was very disappointed. I spent a lot of time, months and months and months, looking for some Indian tribe that went back to eating maize and corn instead of wheat, butter, and oats. Couldn't find it. But I found a miracle 2 weeks ago, when the last, just after the last time we were on. And I found a little tribe called the Ojibways, which are part of the Chippewa tribe in Minnesota, in the Great Lakes in the United States. And they went there, they migrated into Minnesota in 1600, 400 plus years ago. Now, these Ojibways, their main reservation has 360,000 people, lots of little groups, okay, called bands here, there, and yon. But the big collection in Minnesota is 360,000 people. They have 20 infections and 0 deaths. Now, the Navajos, about the same number of people in their main reservation, 340,000 people, had 25,000 deaths, 25,000 infections and 800 deaths. 800 deaths versus 0 deaths, 25,000 infections versus 20 infections. And let's put that in perspective. Let's look at the Australian numbers. This is as of today. Australia has 28,000 infections, 28,658 infections, and 909 deaths. Well, with 25 million people, what does that mean? Well, let's look at Texas, which has 28 million people, 3 million more than you guys have. The state of Texas, as of today, they had 1,843,000 infections and 28,000 deaths. Is 28,000 more than 900? Is 1.8 million more than 28,000? Of course. So what's the difference? Well, in Texas, there's so many Latinos and all they do is live on wheat, butter, and oats. And of course, there's a mixture in Australia, kind of like there is in the United States, where you have these indigenous peoples, the Maoris and that kind of stuff, right? And they eat corn and rice and potatoes as well as wheat. Well, the ones who eat more rice have less likelihood of getting the infection or dying than the ones who eat more wheat, okay? So that's very important information. In any comparison you make, Florida, for instance, in the United States, southeastern part of the United States, Florida has 22 million people. The Taiwanese, the Taiwanese, the Chinese-speaking people, Big Island, have 23 million people. In Florida, they have 1.5 million infections and 23,000 dead. In Taiwan, there's 800 infections and 7 dead. The difference is the Taiwanese are living on rice and sweet potatoes, and everybody in Florida is living on wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Their villi are gone. They're not supplementing. And so the answer here and the history of all this story is in the book and the CD called Hell's Kitchen. Okay, the history is in the book and the CD Hell's Kitchen, and those are available, of course. And it goes into the history back to September 3 o'clock in the afternoon, September 4th, 1882, when we went to electricity instead of wood, and how all these things began to happen. So the answer here is this. What did we get in the United States for distancing 6 feet, wearing a mask and washing our hands? We've been doing that for a year and a half. What did we get for that? We were told if you do that, everything will be fine. Well, what we got for washing our hands, wearing a mask, and doing social distancing for 6 feet, Jamel, was 23 million infections and 400,000 dead. That doesn't sound too successful to me. 400,000 dead and 23 million infections. And so they only gave us 2 or 3% of the information we needed to survive. You need to live on rice and sweet potatoes instead of wheat. Therefore, you won't lose your villi. You need to supplement with the 90s so you can give your body what it needs. And here's what's going to happen. Here's my prediction. And you guys are getting vaccinations in Australia too, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Well, here's what's going to happen. The kids under age 10 are going to have a pretty predictable result from the vaccinations. Vaccinations do not kill viruses and bacteria. They just alert your body to the DNA and RNA of viruses and bacteria. So when the bug shows up, your body, oh, there's the bad guys, and send the white blood cells and antibodies to go kill and eat the virus and bacteria. That's what happens in 3 years old. Well, people who are 63, 73, and 83-year-old, they've been eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats for 50, 60, 70 years. Their villi are dead. Their intestines are just a plastic tube. They've lost 98% of their absorptive surface. They're not supplementing. And so when there's no response. When you're vaccinated, there's going to be a highly variable response. The ones who are living like the Asians and living on rice and sweet potatoes and eating a lot of kelp and seaweed and getting all those minerals from the sea vegetables, they're going to have a very good response to the vaccines. But the ones who are still eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats and not supplementing in any way, shape, or form, nothing good's going to happen. So you're going to see this big dramatic difference. People say, well, that vaccine didn't work. My mom got the vaccine and 6 months later she was dead. Well, that's because she's still eating wheat and wasn't supplementing, and for many, many years. So I'm predicting that this terrible picture is going to show up here. And of course, for 400 years, these Ojibwe Indians in Minnesota have been eating what they call manuman. Manuman is their word for wild rice, which they've been eating exclusively. They didn't have any money, so when they immigrated into Minnesota, they couldn't buy land, and it was past the days when they could go burn villages and kill people and take their land. And so they just lived along the shores of the lakes, which was public property, and began to eat the wild rice. And everybody else is dying, but they're not dying because they still have their villi, and they're eating wild rice, which is getting the minerals out of the lakes. Okay, so that's what's happening here. So we're very, very proud that we've figured this out, and we're passing on the information to everybody. The story is in the book Hell's Kitchen, which came out in 2005. The CD came out in 2003. And when you listen to that CD from 2003 and the book from 2005, you'll say, oh my gosh, we knew the answer 17, 18, 20 years ago. We knew the answer by then. And nobody paid attention to it because they're all beating themselves on the chest saying, well, I'm strong. I'm eating my wheat and doing good. I'm exercising and everything's fine. And so that's why everything fell apart. And that's why we have this terrible result of the pandemic. So over to you. It's one of those things where I'm so excited that we know the answer here. And we can help people, but everybody's got to get off of wheat, barley, rye, and oats and live like an Asian, live like a Ojibwe Indian, and live on rice and sweet potatoes. No more wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No oatmeal for breakfast. No breakfast of champions. No Wheaties. No pancakes and waffles. If you're going to drink wine. You can have the old-timey vodka made from potatoes. There are beers I think you guys have in Australia and New Zealand that are made from rice. Those are safe because they're made from rice. But the beer is made from wheat. The whiskeys, Scotch bourbon, and that kind of stuff, and rye whiskey are made from wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Can't have them.
Yep. And yes, we can get gluten-free beer in Australia. And I want to thank Dr. Wallach again. It started off with one call, and I was just so thrilled to have Dr. Wallach on the call, and I said, let's make this available for everybody. And it's just been, I think this is week number 21.
Yeah.
So we
Great.
nearly compiled half a year of what I like to call was the 2020 version of Dead Doctors Don't Lie, but now the well, with Q&A. And the wonderful thing about this is that you can download this. You can make a copy of it. It's always posted to the New Zealand Facebook page, the official one. It hasn't got my distributor information. So if you're an associate talking to somebody, you can record that, send that to somebody, put it in an email if you are a distributor. It's a great tool to build your business. So anybody can do this. Straight to Q&A now. And Marta, who I think has been on the call before, if you would like to unmute yourself, you've got and the best way is to put in the chat box too, because that means I know you're on the call. If you would like to unmute yourself and ask Dr. Wallach a question, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm from New Zealand, and I have a customer here in New Zealand who has recently been diagnosed with cervical cancer stage 2. She's a young mother of 28 years old. Height is 5'5", and weight is 114 pounds. And she already has had her gallbladder removed, and she has been having thyroid issues as well. So she's wondering if, apart from
well, you're kind of
her immune system, what else can she do? But she would like to definitely gain some more energy.
Okay, yeah, you're kind of buzzing there, so I'm going to go with what you're buzzing. I couldn't hear quite clearly, and so I'm going to go with what I heard. This girl is 28 years old, has cervical cancer, 114 pounds, and so basically, anytime you have cancer, you got to change everything, okay? Because it's doing everything wrong, got you into cancer. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, or oats, no sugar. And then at 114 pounds, I would have her take one healthy brain and heart pack per month, have her get an extra bottle of our selenium. Our selenium has 5 cofactors in it, which support the immune system, because I want her to take 3 of our selenium twice a day, a half a dose of everything else twice a day in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And if they're behind on that for a couple of weeks, I'll start with the Healthy Start Pack, which is our basic core program. She also needs some things that's going to support her immune system. And I'd like her to take our Fucoid Z. Fucoid Z is from a brown marine algae, and it supports the immune system and is an anti-inflammatory. She could go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. I would also have her take our MSM. She could take 1 bottle a month of the MSM, which is 3 of those tablets twice a day. And that's going to help her support maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, and also support her immune system, which is the bone marrow, okay? And so it wouldn't hurt for her also to take one other product. I'd have her take like the Cell Shield RTQ, which again is anti-inflammatory, but also supports the immune system. And then call us, every week we're on. You get on the Zoom every week and give us an update anytime she goes to the doctor and gets some sort of feedback. And that way we can tweak the program, because this is a basic start. Our goal is to stop the ongoing damage, to relieve inflammation, but also support the immune system. So those are the 3 things we're looking to do here.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you,
okay.
Thank you very much. Also want to mention Dr. Wallach's books. If you are in the States or Canada, you can order through the website. If you are in Australia or New Zealand, you need to go to the website and call the phone number during business hours Pacific time, which is drjwallach.com. That is www.drjwallach.com, and they can process your order for you. Also, you can order by the 100 or lower amounts if you want. Best of Dead Doctors Don't Lie with Q&A, kind of like what we're doing today. This, look, Michael Jackson's Thriller album sold 72 million. Last count, I think Dr. Wallach sold 500 million of The Dead Doctors Don't Lie.
Yeah, it's over 600 million now in 9 languages. Yeah.
There you go. So he's outsold Michael Jackson by over 6 or 7 times. So wonderful piece of information. It's been around a long, long time. Go ahead. Carmen.
Hi, how are you? I'm just wanting to know a question about my dog. She has just started to be a little bit incontinent, and we got her urine tested, and it's showing crystals in there, and the vets would like to do an X-ray to see if she has stones in her kidneys or her bladder. They've also put her onto a special food as well for her urinary tract, but I don't like the look of the food. It's got so many chemicals and things in it, and
Okay.
I have been giving her the mineral supplement, you know, the
Arthrodex.
the plant-based minerals.
Okay. Yeah, well, she needs the Arthrodex. Okay, one scoop per 20 pounds of body weight. How much does a dog weigh?
How much does she weigh? She's only about 10 kg. She's quite small.
Okay, so one scoop of the Arthrodex. I'd give her 2 of the EFAs, or 1 EFA and 1 EFA plus. And Australia must have more than one kind of dog food. So find a commercial dog food that you like. Okay. Okay. Don't just give her table scraps. You got to give her commercial dog food with all the vitamins and minerals in it. Make sure there's no gluten in it, no wheat, bread, or rye oats. It can have rice and potatoes and that kind of stuff, but no wheat, bread, or rye oats. And then again, 1 scoop of the Arthrodex, 1 EFA, 1 EFA plus. And it wouldn't hurt to get some of the Fucoid Z anti-inflammatories, and go ahead and give her, say, 1 or 2 of those in her food every day. You may have to open the capsules and dump the stuff in. And just remember that this sort of stuff resolves itself very quickly when you get the nutrients and you stay away from the bad stuff. And so you can look for this to go. I wouldn't be doing x-rays and running up bills and all that kind of stuff. As long as the dog's urinating. If the dog was not urinating and wanting to urinate and can't urinate, then an x-ray may be useful, but I wouldn't get an x-ray. Okay. And then let us know how it goes.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for your help.
Okay. Hey, you bet. God bless.
You too.
Thank you very much. Jenny Kennedy in Melbourne. Jenny, if you want to unmute yourself, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hello.
I have a very unusual problem that's been going on for some time. I have been exposed to Lyme disease and mold in the past, and I think I still have underlying problems.
Okay, stop. Okay, so what are your symptoms?
Symptoms are, the worst symptom is my teeth hurt non-stop, 24/7, and in particular in one tooth. And it just won't go away. It's like having your teeth in a vice that's been turned up. And
okay, so you have a strange taste.
No, teeth. My teeth.
Tooth.
Teeth, yes.
Okay. Is it painful?
Yes, very painful.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question here. Do you have any ringing in your ears? Do you have any tone in your ears, kind of like a noise?
No.
Okay. Do you have any dizziness?
Yeah, a bit of dizziness.
Okay, that's vertigo. Okay. How old are you?
67.
Okay. And what do you weigh?
48 kilo.
Okay, you weigh 48 kilos, so maybe 110 pounds, maybe?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then have you lost can you still taste food, or have you lost your sense of taste?
No, I can still taste the food.
Okay, what about heartbeat? Do you have an irregular heartbeat or a fast heart rate, or?
Not too bad, but I think I do have heart problems, which it's showed up on a recent test from a naturopath. Yeah, there's not enough energy. Yeah.
Okay, is it fast heart rate, slow heart rate, irregular heart rate, or heart pain, or what you got?
No, but it's not there all the time. I just think sometimes it beats irregular.
Okay, so sometimes irregular. Okay. Yeah. Well, you may have what's called osteoporosis of the skull, okay, which can cause this vertigo, can cause balance problems, can also cause irregular heartbeat, squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, okay, the vagus nerve. Do you ever get hiccups?
No.
Okay. Do you have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
I get a lot. I get some things popping up on my skin. It's not quite
Okay.
like a rash, but spots and things.
Okay. What about bowel problems? Any constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, celiac disease, colitis?
No, usually it's okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, or iron-oats, no sugar. I want you to eat like an Asian, live on rice and sweet potatoes and vegetables. You can have fish and poultry and red meat, but nothing fried and burnt. And then at 110 pounds, I would have you take one of our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per month, one Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per month. I'd get an extra bottle of our selenium with the 5 cofactors in it, so you can take 3 of those twice a day, because one bottle of the selenium will come with that Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And then I want you to get to 1 bottle of our MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. That's going to help repair and support maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone matrix in your skull, and your knees and back and vertebrae and so forth. And because you have this heart stuff, I would go with what we call the Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets, get 2 bottles of those a month, so you can take 3 of those twice a day or 2 or 3 times a day for a total of 6. And they're going to support a healthy blood pressure, healthy heart rate, and healthy blood flow through arteries and so forth. And then call us, every couple of weeks, every week if you want, when we're on the Zoom, and give us an update, because the variety of stuff you have going on here is a very common picture for many, many people who are middle-aged people, okay, who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, when they get osteoporosis of the skull and that kind of stuff. And so you're going to have a great story. Your testimony is going to be very, very good. You'll help a lot of people if you contact us on a regular basis and kind of give us an update, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Back to you, Jamel.
Thank you very much, Jenny. I just want to announce if Tracy can make the call today, she's got a few announcements to make as well. I think we are getting the MSM in shortly. In the meantime, we can get the Pro Joint FX.
That's right, Pro Joint. Yeah, it has MSM in it. Very good.
For the Australian, New Zealand market too. We're currently out of Rebound, which I just grabbed one of these. I saw Dr. Wallach drinking one of these at a convention once, body trim. They're great little pick-me-ups. They're also available in the, for the business starters, that they're in the CEO packs as well. You can get a CEO pack with the whole. These are great little packets to sample your business to, because they're neat, they're clean.
You can get Rebound in those little packets like that too, 30 in a box. You
can. We can't get those in Australia. We can only get the canister of the Rebound. But with the sachets, which with the Ultimate Cardio sticks we can get as well, the stick packs. They're great for sampling and building your business. So that with the Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD works really, really well. Jack, if you've been able to fix your audio there, he did have a question about a friend's baby. I'm going to read that again because he's given me some more information, Doc. His friend's a mother with a 3-year-old daughter. She's 100 centimeters tall, weighs 16.8 kilograms, about 34 pounds.
What? The lady only weighs 34 pounds or 134 pounds?
Her baby.
Oh, 34.
She's 100 centimeters tall, which is about, 3 feet. Now, she was diagnosed with this disease called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and he's got back to me and said, they said it's a collagen issue. So I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, it does help. Okay. And so 34 pounds of collagen issue. Again, this kid needs the 90 essential nutrients, right? It can take the Healthy Start Pack or the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, whatever is appropriate, whatever you can get there. But also that Pro Joint FX, because of the MSM, I would give that child 2 capsules twice a day, Pro Joint FX, 2 capsules twice a day, along with the 90 essential nutrients. And it wouldn't hurt to throw in the Fucoid Z, 2 of those capsules twice a day. That's that brown marine algae, anti-inflammatory, and supports the immune system. But they got to get rid of all the bad stuff. When they start talking about autoimmune and all this kind of stuff, then they're talking about wheat, brown, oats, gluten issues, no wheat, brown rice, oats. The kids got to, and everybody in the family has got to live like an Asian on rice and sweet potatoes. No wheat, barley, rye, oats. No Wheaties, no oatmeal, no pancakes, no waffles. They can have flour tortillas. No flour tortillas. They can have corn tortillas, right? They cannot have flour tortillas. And so wheat, barley, rye, and oats has got to go, got to go, got to go. And that's forever, not until the kid feels better, but forever, because it'll only get worse.
Thank you very much, Doc. With the a question here with Joe from Woollongong, just wants to know, well, there are a lot of Youngevity products, and sometimes people start taking a lot of different things and wonder which ones they should be taking if they're on a budget. If somebody has like the Healthy Start Pack, we know we all need that with the 90 Essentials. Now there's the Osteo FX in there. Now the Pro Joint FX and the Gluco Gel, he wants to know what's the difference between those two products.
Okay, well, Gluco Gel is collagen only, and Pro Joint FX is a mixture of 5 or 6 different raw materials. Right. And so if they could only afford one, I'd go for the Pro Joint FX.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's good to know. I know that my dad's been on the Pro Joint FX now for a few months, so I'm going to get him back on the call and do a progress report with him. Okay, so Anne Kennedy, if you're there, if you can unmute yourself at this point, let us know, because she was going to let us know how she's going.
So I am here, and how are you, Dr. Wallach?
Hello, hello.
Great.
How can I help you today?
Oh, well, just to let you know that I haven't been on these things for too long now, but I've just also ordered some more, what was it, Jamel, that Pro
Pro Joint FX?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've only got 3 capsules left, and I thought, golly. So I hope they get here really quick. But I've noticed a very minimal amount of help, movement, and that sort of thing. But I'm still, still pretty upset that I'm not walking properly. But,
okay, well, stop there. Stop there. Now, the main reason that people don't get maximum results in 2 weeks from taking these supplements is they're eating gluten. Wheat, bread, rye, oats, oatmeal, okay, pancakes, waffles, bread, spaghetti. Okay, you cannot have that stuff. Okay, you got to read labels, because it's in everything. It's in beer, it's in biscuits, cookies, crackers. Okay, you cannot have that stuff because it damages those villi in your intestines, so you cannot absorb. So you're not going to get the maximum benefit. You need to go through everything you have in the household, whether it's dog food. If you have a roommate or a partner or somebody and they're eating gluten, you got to bag it all up, wear gloves, wear a mask, bag it all up, and send it to your doctor. Do not waste it. Don't throw it away. It's too expensive. Give it to your doctor as a gift. And if you're a business builder, you can deduct the cost of those things as a tax deduction, as a sample you're giving to the doctor. But make sure the doctor gets it. Don't throw it in the ditch. But you cannot have any of that stuff anymore.
Okay, well, I'll just pull everything out and double check it and write everything
yes.
down. Yeah. And then, yeah, okay, I shall do that as well, because I haven't been having flour or bread or any other thing. I've been pretty good like that. But
yeah, it's in, you know, you get cross-contaminated in the laundry, the food preparation surfaces, the beds, the couches, the rugs. And so you're really in dog food. You can't go to a spaghetti restaurant with a friend. Well, I didn't eat any of the spaghetti. I just had a salad. We were inhaling all that flour dust from the kitchen. Okay. And so you got to watch it. The environment is as dangerous as the food. You cannot go to those places. Okay. If they want to go, say, hey, you got to go. And then if you're coming back to the house, you got to strip out in the front yard. I'm going to hose you down with a garden hose for 15 minutes before you can come in the house. Okay. I mean, you got to be that aggressive. Otherwise, you are the one that's going to pay the price.
Okay. I will take that on board for sure.
Okay. Talk to you in a week or so.
Okay. Thank you. All the
God
best
bless.
to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And that's Anne from Queensland. And thank you for your feedback as well. We love good news stories. So if you have been
Yes.
on products for a while and had a great result, let us know. I've got the chat box open here. So we've got a question from Elizabeth. Elizabeth, if you want to unmute yourself, go ahead.
It's not a question. It's just thanking Dr. Wallach and just giving an update on when I was here last. I just typed it in the chat box. It's only been a few weeks, but I had gallstones. I have gallstones issues, and I've got multiple stones, only about 13 mils long, and doctor wants to remove my gallbladder. But I'm on the 90 for life. And I was on the selenium as well, which I usually take. But I've added on what's been recommended. I've got the Cell Shield. I've got the Pollen Burst. I've got the Good Herbs liver and gallbladder support. And what else? Enzymes. And
the ultimate enzymes. The ultimate enzymes are called the gallbladder in a bottle. And if you had your gallbladder removed, that's the perfect thing to take. Take 2 or 3 of those, say 5-10 minutes for each meal with some water.
No, it's not been removed. They want to remove it, Dr. Wallach, and you said not to do that. But
no.
I'm on all the other stuff. I'm off the bad foods and taking all of that, but I've added Pollen Burst. I think I said Pollen Burst.
Yes.
And I've also added acupuncture to that as well. And prior to all of these extra products I've been taking, I was so lethargic, but in the mid-afternoon, I had to go and have a lie down. I just had to sleep because I just didn't have any energy. And I was in so much pain, but it's only been a few weeks now on these products, and I don't have that pain that I used to. And I've just got so much more energy, and I still have until April the 1st that's the removal date, but that's one appointment I don't plan to attend because
you shouldn't have to have your gallbladder removed for a gallstone, that kind of stuff. Very good. Well, thank you so much for the feedback. Keep calling us on a regular basis and letting us know, because your story will save a lot of people a lot of unnecessary misery and maybe save a lot of lives. So we really appreciate you sharing your story with us. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Jamel. Thanks, Dr.
We in a moment, we're going to go to Bronwyn, who has an update as well. But firstly, Michelle from Dubbo is 150 pounds. She's 5'8". She's 35. She does have asthma and blood sugar issues. Dr. Wallach, what should she be doing and take?
Okay. So she got blood sugar, meaning diabetes probably. Okay. Okay. And you say she's 150 pounds. And there was another thing. Oh, asthma. Okay. She's got a serious gluten problem. So at 150 pounds, she's got to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye, and oats. Everybody in her household, the dog, the cat, the bird, the fish, brothers and sisters, kids, grandkids, spouse, caregivers, everybody's got to be gluten-free. She cannot go to places that sell gluten, bakeries and things like that. She cannot do that. And then at 150 pounds, I would have her take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Okay. And I would also, it'll be, that'll give her 2 bottles of the EFAs and 2 bottles of the FA pluses. I want her to take 3 EFAs twice a day and 3 FA pluses twice a day, as well as 2 full doses of everything a day, a full dose of breakfast and dinner. And because she also has blood sugar issues, I want her to get 2 bottles a month of the sweeties so she can take 3 of those twice a day. If she's on medication, don't cold turkey off the medication, but take her blood sugar on a regular basis. And as the blood sugar drops, she can slowly, based on the numbers, reduce her medication. And usually within 2 to 6 weeks, she'll be off the medication. But don't do it cold turkey without doing all the blood tests and doing it by the numbers.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach.
Yep.
Bronwyn, we've got an update from Bronwyn. Go ahead.
Hi, Jamal. Hi, Dr. Wallach. How are you going?
Hey.
Now, listen, I spoke to you the very first Zoom you did with us from my car. Now, I want to tell you that my health score at that point in time was about 38. Ooh. It's now 91.
Congratulations.
And the only time I seem to have a remission, like go back into bad things, because I have fibromyalgia pretty bad. is when our stock runs out and doesn't get to us before I run out, you know, because of
Well,
things
here's how you solve
beyond
that
our
problem.
control.
Here's how you solve that problem. What you do is you order 2 of everything when you order.
Oh no, I meant from getting to the warehouse itself to even be in our auto ship.
Okay.
So
Well,
every
just
time it comes in,
order
I
every
try and
week.
stock up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. I always have a 6-month supply on hand, okay, for those issues, and I order on a regular basis, even though I have a 6-month supply on hand. That way, I don't deplete my 6-month supply. Okay.
Yeah,
And
but
so
I thought I would just share that yes, this is working
it
for me,
works.
working
Yeah.
really well, except for when I keep running out or
Yeah.
you know.
Well, let me ask your age.
decides to-
What is your age?
I
Bronwyn?
am, well, since I told you I've had a birthday, so I'm now 61.
Okay,
So
beautiful.
a little bit younger than you.
Yeah, well, you look like you're 41, so you're doing a good
Oh,
job.
thank you. My husband just
Your husband's
listening.
your husband's a lucky man. Okay, well,
He
thank
looks
you
much
so much for
younger too.
sharing. Yeah, well, but thank you so much for sharing your story, because when we get feedback like that, it helps so many other people have confidence. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try it since Bronwyn has such great results. I'm going to give it a shot here. And so your story, your testimony is a blessing. And it goes back to the Bible days, you know, when people would go from village to village to village and tell their stories, then people would do things and say, oh, by golly, that worked, and so forth. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yes, my husband wants to know, though, why his hair is not growing back.
Okay. He's sneaking gluten somewhere. Okay.
Yes, that's what I keep telling him.
Yeah, he's got to stay away from wheat, brown, rye oats, and live on rice and sweet potatoes. We also have a wonderful product called hair, skin, and nails. He could take 3 of those twice a day, hair, skin, and nails. And he does need to take the MSM. And we don't have that there in Australia right now, so you can go with the Pro Joint FX, take 3 of those twice a day. All right. And that helps with the skin and the hair follicles and so forth. And so let's go that direction.
Oh, he's just heard all that. He's standing just over there. He just doesn't like. Thank you very much. Appreciate your help.
Okay. Good day.
Okay.
Thank you, Bronwyn. Now, this call will be uploaded to the New Zealand official page shortly. We will be back next week. I've got one more question to read out, and then, Doc, if you would like to end us with any notes for year, and then we'll wrap that up. John from Lismore wants to know, he said he's had a great result taking the 90 for life and off the bad foods. And he just wants to confirm when would be the most optimum time. He's on 2 Healthy Start packs a month. Should he be having all that, which is really only the EFA capsules, but should he be having the drinks and all that with food, without food?
Okay, with food.
Yeah,
with food. And so what I do is I start taking it about 5 minutes before I start eating, the liquids and the capsules and pills and tablets, and I kind of nibble on them as I'm eating food. I take my capsules and pills and my liquids with my food. And if there's anything left when I'm done eating, I continue to take all those things before I get up from the table. I never say, well, I'll have the rest of them tomorrow, or if it was breakfast, I'll have the rest of them at lunch. No, I do it all per meal. And that way you're going to get maximum benefit. Right.
And he just wants to know, should he be taking more of the OsteoFX before bedtime, or should he be mixing them together? Is there an optimum time to have the OsteoFX?
Well, if he wants to take extra, other than, if he's supposed to take OsteoFX as 2 doses a day, okay, take 1 dose at breakfast, 1 dose at dinner time. But if he wants to take a 3rd dose, he could take it, half hour before bedtime with some water, and that'll help him sleep. And also he can absorb some more minerals while he is sleeping. But okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. If you would like to give us any more words of advice before we wrap this up. And we
Yes,
will-
okay. Well, thank you so much, Jamal, and your team, and all of our viewers and all of our friends and loved ones in Australia, New Zealand, and all the islands and Hawaii and so forth. Thank you so much. But there's three things you got to do to get through this pandemic and go on forward and be safe and flourish. Number one, avoid the bad foods. Nobody is safe. You can't say, well, I'm strong, I'll just have pancakes for breakfast and have spaghetti once a week. And you cannot do that. Don't do it, because instead of being sick when you're 35, you'll get sick when you're 58. Okay, because it's a slow buildup. It's just not like switch on, switch off. Okay, well, I've been eating oatmeal for breakfast for 30 years. Why am I just now getting a problem? Because you've been eating oatmeal for 30 years. You've been slowly losing those villi in your intestines. And of course, the gluten produces a substance called pro-inflammatory cytokines, which slowly kill the villi. That's why the villi die, because of those inflammatory cytokines. You can't take those things, okay? Which is the gluten. No wheat, no butter, rye oats. Live on rice and sweet potatoes and that kind of stuff. Millet's okay, buckwheat's okay, but I don't even like buckwheat because it has the word wheat in it, okay? Although it doesn't have any gluten, but you do have to be really gluten-free. And then take your 90, be faithful, take it per body weight, and take it, even if you have a choice of buying food or the supplements, buy the supplements, okay? Because you cannot get your nutrition from your food. Plants do not make minerals. Plants only, if you look at the fertilizer the farmers use, and farmers get paid by tons and bushels, they're going to use the fertilizer that gives them the maximum yields in terms of tons of bushels. And fertilizers only have NPK, only 3 nutrients. So where are you going to get the other 87? Okay, you have to take the supplements. And if you have to eat a half a meal, I don't eat any lunches. I'll have a snack. I'll have a couple of those little round bell cheeses and some of our chocolates and some extra. That's when I'll have my rebound at lunchtime. But for breakfast and dinner, I have my big meals, and I have 99% of my supplements split half in the morning and half at dinner time. And I've been doing that for 73 years. Most people think I'm in my 50s when they look at me, but in a couple of months I'll be 82. And I don't have any health problems. I've never had a health problem. No diabetes, no high blood pressure, no arthritis. I have I only have one tooth missing, and that was knocked out in a fight. It's not. I'm 82 years old, have all my own teeth, and so I don't have any liver problems. I don't have any lung problems. I don't have any blood vessels. I have no heart problems, and that's because I've been doing this since I was 9 years old, faithfully since I was 9, and it's one of those things where I learned it all in the Merck manual, which was for animals, because we live on a farm, so we had the Merck manual for animals. I didn't even have the Merck manual for people, okay? But it's that, you guys have those in Australia, right? It's kind of that basic book that tells you what to do for arthritis and what to do for diabetes and so forth. Yeah. Well, and if a 9-year-old can figure it out, and after 73 years not have any health problems following just the basic program, everybody can do the same thing. And so this is why I knew that I was going to find some tribe of Indians that had a much lower rate of the pandemic infection and deaths compared to all the other tribes. And I found it. It was the Ojibways in northern Michigan who are living on rice for 400 years. They have not eaten gluten in 400 years. They've just lived on rice, wild rice, for 400 years because it was free. They didn't have to buy land and till the soil and harvest. They just wade out waist deep in the lake and harvest the rice, kind of thing. And they were smart enough to stay with that for 400 years. And they have 0 deaths and 20 infections. And the Navajo Indians, with a like population, have 25,000 infections and 800 deaths. 800 deaths are more than 0. 25,000 infections are more than 20. Okay, and it's a difference in diet. It's just diet. And so don't forget, get rid of the bad foods, fried foods, processed meats, oils, and glutens, wheat, butter, rye oats, and sugar. Take your 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 minutes to 3 fatty acids. Our basic core product is the Healthy Start Pack. Our big hammer in the toolbox is the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And then we have the secret sauces for over 600 different diseases. So I urge people to really get involved. Give these books and CDs to their friends and loved ones in churches, and you'll add 25 to 50 healthful years to their life. I mean, I can't think of a greater gift. And for them to rebuy these things, it just costs them the price of a cup of coffee every day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. This will be posted on the New Zealand official Facebook page very shortly. You can unmute yourself and say, g'day and aloha. See you next week, Dr. Wallach. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jamel.
Thank you.
God bless.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week with all your questions and answers. See you, Dr.
Thank
Wallach.
you.
Absolutely. Okay, bye-bye. Love you.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Thank you,
Love
Jamel.
See you,
Love
Doc.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
Thanks, Dr. Wallach. Thanks, Jamel.
G'day, I'm Jamel Boukabou with Dr Joel Wallach, who's been nominated for Nobel Prize for Medicine, has a book in the Smithsonian, and was awarded at the United Nations. Doc, your life's work, you are the naturopathic doctor, you're travelling around the world. What can we expect?
Well, what I'm going to do is teach people how to prevent as many as 900 different diseases, how to reverse as many as 900 different diseases, and by saving themselves and saving their families, will save the world.
Wow. And I'm an independent distributor, he's a doctor, so my job is to get that information out to you and refer to the best doctor, I think, on the planet, Dr Joel Wallach. Get in touch with us now and we'll show you how. And you can create a great income too for your friends and your family, and you can really get some people healthy. Thank you.